Hello there, I'm Ganesh, an English teacher, and I have been teaching English since last 10 years in many renowned organizations and institutes. And I have come across students, they have told me several times that reported speech is one of the complex topics, right? Maybe challenging one also. So today we will do reported speech. So let's get started. What we are going to learn today, that is reported speech. Okay, my dear students, reported speech is really one of the important topics. Why? Because sometimes in question paper it is asked to convert from direct speech to indirect speech and indirect speech to direct speech. So it is very important to understand the rules and regulations that we follow while converting these things. Okay, so first of all, we'll talk about reported speech. Reported speech is also called direct speech or indirect speech. Okay, and I'm going to have some examples over here, and after getting that example I'll also tell you about some terms like reporting verb, reported speech, okay, these things, and then we will talk about rules one by one. So let us take an example first. Suppose he says to me, he says to me, for example, suppose today I'll play video game. Today I'll play video game. So now let us talk about what it is exactly. The sentence written in this format is called direct speech. Why direct speech? It means the person, he has spoken or has stated the same statement as it is, that today I'll play video game, right? And the part which is outside the inverted comma is known as reporting verb. What it is called? It is called reporting verb, right? And the statement which is there inside the inverted comma is called reported speech. What it is called? Reported speech. These two terms should be very clear. Why? Because I'll be using these two terms regularly, simultaneously during the session. Okay, sometimes people also call the verb which has been used inside the inverted comma is a reported verb. Yes, that's also correct. So reporting verb or reported verb, or maybe reporting verb, or the whole speech is reported by someone, that is, it is called reported speech. Okay, now we will talk about rules one by one in very quick time. So while we are converting this, then we require one conjunction. So rule number one, that we require one conjunction to connect this reporting verb with the reported speech. Okay, generally we use that, generally, but not all the time. We will talk about it later on. So if we solve this question, so it becomes, he tells me that today he'll play video game. Okay, we remove double inverted comma, we also remove this comma, we connect this. When we connect, so we have conjunction that, right? And what other changes we are making? Please have a look. Says to becomes tells. Says to becomes tells, and we are using conjunction that, and he, I becomes he. I becomes he. He'll play video game, right? So the very first rule is using conjunction as a connector while connecting reporting verb with reported speech. Second rule is whenever we have reporting verb is in present or future tense. Again, I'm repeating the sentence, students. If we have reporting verb is in present or future, then we do not make any changes in the tense of reported speech. For example, if it was in future tense, simple future tense, this is also in simple future tense. Let us talk about if next rule, if the reporting verb is in past tense. Okay, just for example, if we say here, he said to me, he said to me, right? We have changed this reporting verb. Earlier it was in present tense, then the answer is this, and if we change it to past tense, then let us take the changes, that what changes occur here. All right, so said to becomes told. He told me, that we will use as a conjunction. Today will become that day. That day he would play video game. Please pay attention over here. What changes actually we are making? Once we have changed past tense, that reporting verb, it also changes the tenses in reported speech. What? Said to became told. It should never be told to, right? After told, immediately we put an object, right? So he told me, then we are using conjunction that, and today became that day, that I'm going to talk about. Okay, one table I'll give you, you will have to follow that table. Here I became he, means the speaker is he, so we will use he. Okay, would will become would. This is what the past tense of future. Okay, will becomes would, and play video game. So this is all about the rule. Now I'm going to talk about whenever, the third rule, that whenever the reporting verb is in past tense, then how the tenses will be changed. Okay, so please follow this table. I'm going to draw a table and then we'll do some examples based on the table, so that concept will be more clear. Suppose if you are converting from direct speech to indirect speech, and in reported speech some tenses are given like present simple, or present continuous, or present perfect, or present perfect continuous, right? Then all these present will become past. All these present will become past. See how? Simple present will become present simple, means present indefinite I'm talking about, that is past simple, right? And if it is present continuous, it will become past continuous, and then it will become past perfect, and then it will become past perfect continuous, right? It means if we have V1 or V1 plus S or ES, or do or does, it means if it is present indefinite tense or present simple, then we change it to past simple, that we are using whether V2 or did. And if we use did, then we always use first form of the verb, that is did with first form. Then present continuous tense means maybe is, am, are, right? And whenever we change it into, so then it will become was and were. Present continuous tense will become past continuous tense. Similarly, present perfect will become past perfect. For example, if we are using has or have, so it will become had. Okay, and similarly here, if we are using has been or have been, then it will become had been. Okay, so this way present, all present will become all past. It does not mean that if past will come, so you will change it to present, right? So now what will happen if past tenses will come? in reported speech. For example, past simple, past continuous, and past perfect, and past perfect continuous. Okay, so how it will be changed? Keep this concept in your mind. The first will become third one, and the second will become the fourth one. It means past simple will be changed to past perfect, and past continuous tense will be past perfect continuous. Okay, and these two, past perfect and past perfect continuous tense, will remain unchanged. Okay, it will be no change. Now if we talk about future tense, so every future tense contains a will or shall. Maybe future simple, will, shall; future continuous, will be, shall be; future perfect, will have, be, will have, shall have; and future perfect continuous tense is will have been, shall have been. So everywhere will and shall is common, so no need to write each and everything. Simply if a will or shall is there, so it will be converted into would. Just like the example we did, like today I'll play video game, so he would play video game that day, or maybe that day he would play video game. Okay, now we'll talk about some more model auxiliaries. For example, if, like can, may, must, or shall, right? Then we change it into could, might, had to, and should, right? So these are the concept by which you can follow this table only when your reporting verb is in past tense. If reporting verb is not in past tense, then you are not going to use this table. Okay, and one more thing, there is an exception. What exception is there? If reporting verb is in past tense and reported speech depicts some universal fact or some scientific truth, then the tense will remain unchanged. For example, if it says Ram said, suppose I am taking one example, Ram said, comma, inverted comma, the sun rises in the east. Okay, then it will be unchanged, like Ram said that the sun rises in the east. Why? Because it is universal truth, right? So now we'll talk about one more table which is very important. If you want, you can note it down, okay, and I'll give you another table that nearer becomes farther. How it happens, let us talk about. Okay, so if your reporting verb is in past tense, then we follow this table that just I have given you, and you follow this table also. What? That this becomes that, okay, these becomes those, here becomes there, today becomes that day, of course tonight will become that night, yesterday will become the previous day, or yesterday means the previous day or the last day or the day before, right? And here tomorrow will become the following day or the next day. Okay, and if we talk about ago will become before, right? Come becomes go, and what else? Come becomes go, and yes, just or now becomes then. Okay, so some certain changes you have to follow, right? So I'm going to give you some examples, right? And those examples we can do one by one, then we will see all these things. In this session I'm going to talk about only affirmation and negation, maybe affirmative sentences and negative sentences. In next session we will talk about interrogative sentences, right? Why? Because there are some certain changes, some rules are there while we talk about interrogative sentences. So let us take some examples. Okay, first example is Rahul said, I don't play in weekdays. Rahul said or says, maybe said, Rahul said, I don't play in weekdays. Okay, this is first one. Now I'm going to talk about the second one, that Sam says to Mona, you can come here today. Sam said to Mona, you can come here today. Okay, we'll do all these two examples, then I'll give you some questions to solve and you have to solve this, and whenever you have any confusion or doubt, please get back to me. Okay, so how we'll do it, if it is only said, we do not have any object, then we will write is as it is, like Rahul said. That is a conjunction. I means Rahul, that is he. This is in past tense, so we will change this. He didn't play in weekdays, right? This is your correct answer. Now we'll talk about the next one. Sam said to Mona, that is Sam told Mona, conjunction that. You means who? Mona is a girl, so we'll use she. Can will become could. Okay, come will become go. Here will become there. Today will become that day. So how nice this example is. So many changes are there, like said to becomes told, you becomes see, can becomes could, come becomes go, here becomes there, and today becomes that day. Even we are using conjunctions also to so many changes, right? So give you some certain questions to solve. Just change the following direct speech into indirect speech. Change the following direct speech into indirect speech. Okay, first one, I'm going to give you some examples where you will be using all the rules. Dolly said to me, you must come here daily for learning English. Right? Here you will be applying so many rules simultaneously, right? He said to her, I never eat chocolates. He said to her, I never eat chocolates. Right? Let us take another example. The teacher says, today I'll teach grammar. He said to me, you did not bring me a gift, right? And I'm going to give you the fifth one. John said, I cannot solve this problem. Okay guys, so please do this exercise and get back to me for today. That's it. See you in next video. Bye bye.